Alrighty, welcome back to the CCS Season 5 Championships, our second broadcast of the night. Ready to get underway. The players are already here and ready to join us. Florida takes on Southeast Missouri State at 2 versus 15 in the West region.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those high seeds versus low seeds, and Florida, obviously, we've gotten to know them quite a bit. You know, with the addition of Hammy Crackers, this team has been lethal, and you know what? They are looking to make themselves a long run. Southeast Missouri State, on the other hand, they are a bid stealer in the tournament for the first time in their debut season as well, and they're looking to make an impact against a very, very strong 2 seed.
Yeah, they were a 3 seed in the Ohio Valley tournament and went on to win their Ohio Valley bid, and now they are ranked with Florida in the first round. It's a fairly difficult pool for the Redhawks to see what they can do in their first time in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, I got to cast them versus Southern Indiana. It was actually a really, really fun matchup. That one went to 7. There was a lot of SEMO fans in chat, and they showed up and showed out. And you know what? You got to give credit where the credit's due. The Redhawks got the job done, won out in their conference, got the AQ, and you know, obviously they're in a tough matchup versus the Gators of Florida. But hey, we'll see what they can do versus Florida here tonight.
The best of 7, so first of 4. We'll move on to the round of 32 next Friday night is SEMO. Their first time in the CCS Championships. Florida, a second straight trip as the Gators almost an early strike.
Yeah, we're going to be expecting Florida to try and take advantage right from the get-go. I mean, we've seen what this offense can do. We've seen the chemistry, and we've seen Hammy Crackers as well, as he'll open it up with a solo ceiling shot.
He'll be Hammy to get the scoring started, Jordan. 17 seconds. Hammy, one of the best players in the country in CCS, getting the job done early for the Gator offense.
Yeah, I mean, he has really proved himself to be at that higher level, and you know, True Raid and Larry alongside him, it has been just a scary trio. The only one who's been really able to consistently shut them down has, of course, been the Tigers over at Mizzou.
And Missouri, their only loss, they lost twice to the Tigers. That one, just a one-timer from Bernsey, is good for the first.
Yeah, just got a nice opening here. Raid wasn't really able to reach it in time. Bernsey went under him, and Larry not ready for it. Actually, was that redirected by Raid?
I can't see the replays. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to go back and watch that later at the end of this one. But that looked interesting. It's Florida and SEMO lead, and Schwartz has a second.
Yeah, look at the Redhawks go. I mean, a good kickoff here, a good cheat up from Shores, and then no boost, no problem. Slots at top left.
Remember, Florida was a 2 seed in last season's tournament, Jonas, and almost was upset by the 15th seed last season in North Texas. We'll see if maybe now tonight SEMO can avenge the Demons.
Yeah, we'll see if they can indeed. I mean, again, this is another tough 15 2-seed matchup. Obviously, you know, we talk about, you know, some of these teams having to really try and level up as they go toe-to-toe with, you know, again, some of the best teams in the whole country, and Florida definitely being one of them. But SEMO, they're here to fight early.
A minute gone. They're in game number 1, and the Redhawks out to not a bad start. Jonas is bound if you're going to get an upset. You know, this is the kind of start you need, and they've gotten it so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be looking to keep that momentum rolling forward, and you know, they were able to get 2 great openers. Their defense is still going to have to fight well as Larry and Hammy will break through to tie it up. 3.5
to go in game 1. Hammy Crackers again going to help this Florida offense, and Larry off the assist from Hammy Crackers, and it's 2-all.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is going to be the biggest question here from SEMO. We've already seen that their offense can work, obviously, you know, finding too early, but being able to compete with Florida's offense on the defensive end, that's going to be a completely another question, and I'm intrigued to see how they adapt to this pace of play that I don't believe they've seen all season long.
Absolutely. Where's the look in front? There's a third for the Redhawks.
And their offense just keeps on going. Ventum, a nice takedown. Field plays it off the back wall, and Schwartz just cleanly outspeeding Hammy to it. The Redhawks back out in front.
Southeast Missouri State just won't go away, Jonas. In Southern Indiana, I know you watched him also in the Ohio Valley Championship. We also saw them play in the tournament as well against James Madison, and they were also 15 seed and struggled. But Hammy Crackers finds a third for the Gators.
Yeah, a nice job here by Hammy. You give him that much open space, and it's just too dangerous. A nice reset, places it high. Burnsy did a great job trying to reach it, but not enough space to work with.
The Red Hawk defense, they can handle the pressure of Hammy Crackers. It could be a long night for the SEMO Red Hawks. But, you know, Florida coming in, favorites to go as far as the Final Four. We'll see if they can start their run tonight. But again, you know, after this, they're going to play 10 seed Houston in round 2 next Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much easier. I mean, Houston, they looked incredible versus UTA, and they look to be a force to be reckoned with. Never know, could see an upset there, but Florida, they're already in trouble here as SEMO have come at them full force in game number 1, and for one, I'm just excited to see if this kind of play can stay from the Red Hawks.
We'll see if they can stabilize this offense. This game performed very well through the first half of game 1. As Schwartz wants the fourth, it will be no good as Larry will clear the paint.
Burnsy trying to take this one off the back wall, just will boom it forward. Raid getting a piece of it, but not enough. Schwartz firing on the open net. SEMO are up 4-2.
4-3 as he's got a hat trick. 2:14 to go as the Red Hawks. We've got 7 goals in one half.
I don't know why I thought it was still 2, but Schwartz has got a hat trick here in game number 1. And what a look this is from Southeast Missouri State. And Florida, I think they're a little bit shocked in this one.
Shell-shocked, it really feels like. I mean, SEMO, again, have opened up very, very well offensively. Their defense, though, a little questionable at times, but that's to be kind of, you know, expected with having to deal with Larry and Hammy offensively, which, again, Hammy almost another with a big save for Schwartz. He's done it all tonight for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, he's got 7 of the 8 shots and, of course, 3 of the 4 goals, and it has been a great look here. And, you know, I already mentioned that it's going to be up to SEMO's defense to see if they can really answer, and that still is the case. But right now, they don't even have to focus too much on defense because their offense has just been going crazy early.
Yeah, minute 30 to go. Larry, a fourth. 90 seconds, the Gators tie it up.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it just being a good 50 out front. Larry just straight over shores, no boost to work with. Might have been able to reach it with the double jump. Could have been that little backflip panic on the goal line, but 4-4 with 90 seconds remaining. I mean, the biggest thing here is we're seeing one of the best teams in the country, nation. I mean, Florida, if they were able to beat Mizzou, were well in talks for a 1 seed, and we're seeing Southeast Missouri State going right at them, but Florida will break through again. They claim the lead.
Right back in front for the Gators, their first lead since 2-1, I believe, 3-2. I believe. A minute 17 to go, though. Now 9 total goals, 3.5 minutes in.
And ultimately, I mean, this just is incredible to me. I mean, again, nation, I saw this team already. I knew they could compete, but you know, you talk about Florida, you talk about a different beast, and Ventum slicing and dicing his way through, puts it top shelf, and we're once again tied. These Red Hawks are here to play.
SEMO just won't go away either. Florida can't put the Red Hawks away in game 1, 1:08 to go. The fight continues on.
And this, I mean, nation, I don't know if you can see, I just have the biggest grin on my face right now because I don't know if this is going to stay alive, but Hammy will make it 6-5. We have 11 goals scored in this one as Hammy will find himself a hat trick. I mean, this is just an offensive dogfight.
And no defense at all whatsoever. 1:03 to go. The Red Hawks back to trailing 1 here. We'll see if their offense can find a way to re-equalize.
Yeah, SEMO are currently 5 for 9 as a team, and Florida are 6 for 11. I mean, we are seeing a lot of high power offense coming through here. Not a ton of saves. SEMO have had the majority. Florida really haven't been able to slow the Red Hawks down when they're able to build those attacks quickly. Ventum will just lob it downfield, plays it over Larry. Maybe a shot look here for Schwartz. Bottom right corner covered by Hammy.
Great look there for Schwartz, but unfortunately, the defense finally can come up with a save. Now Florida in transition finds the demo with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and just so swift into that demo play was Larry. Got the reset, was called off by Raid. You can see him get a soft touch, leave, and immediately hunt down the last defender. Schwartz tried to reach it, but not enough time or space. 31 seconds, 2-goal difference. SEMO might be out of reach now.
Yeah, gonna need something quick here for the Red Hawks to get this back within one with as much seconds on the clock as they can leave for goal 7 to come in. But their offense, again, nonetheless, a heck of a performance in game 1.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, this is a match that I think a lot of people expected to be a sweep, and you know, it still might be. Obviously, it's still being very early in the series, but we have shown that Southeast Missouri State can compete. As somehow that one does not fall through for Hammy. Larry is looking for goal number 8. Will get shut down up high by Ventum. It will hit the grass. Florida take game 1, but what an offensive bout.
That it was. I mean, if their defense can stabilize, you know, SEMO might have a chance.
They very well could. I mean, again, this was only a 3-shot differential, ultimately 2 goals, and I think the biggest thing is SEMO scored 5 on Florida. Obviously, Florida put up 7 in response, but Southeast Missouri State put up 5 goals against, you know, what is considered a top 5 team here in CCS. That's huge.
I mean, 5 goals should be enough to win a game. Like, that should be enough to win. But unfortunately, their defense held in 7. So that wasn't quite enough to win that game. But realistically speaking, 5 goals should never lose you a game.
Yeah, now, we'll again, obviously that was just game 1. That was just a taste of this matchup. We'll see if Southeast Missouri State can indeed stabilize. We'll see how their defense is able to adapt over time in this best of 7. But you're still seeing Florida seeming to lead the pace here.
30 seconds in, no early goals this go around for Florida or SEMO. But again, a mistake on the goal line. 1-0. The Red Hawks back in front.
Yeah, and Larry dropping an oops, and the Red Hawks more than happy to take advantage. As I don't exactly know what happened with Larry, just kind of flipped early, and Shore is more than happy to put away another.
You got to capitalize off the mistakes for SEMO and Florida. You know, messes up defensively. So again, they be able to capitalize there. But now you got to see if you can hold on to this lead.
And again, we saw them build themselves a lead, you know, obviously back in game 1, but their defense was not able to hold well enough, and Florida looking to take advantage of some time and space. Hammy will keep this one on the ground, catching up to it. Baventum wins the 50 downfield, rushing after it with no boost. Schwartz might have a look. No, Hammy cuts in and ends up giving Schwartz a little bit of a fright, but turns away. Hammy stealing challenge, stabilizing, might have a late flip. He does, shot on, saved away.
3:45 to go. Larry back to midfield, broken up by Schwartz. Bernsey trying to counter here for the Red Hawks, as Florida's defense has been one of the best in the country all season long, throwing this, but tonight it's been tested early.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, giving up 5 goals to a 15 seed of SEMO, it's not the best look for Florida, but again, you got to give Southeast Missouri their flowers there for really showing up and showing out. Again, it wasn't as much as we saw Florida collapsing. SEMO were just better, as Hammy will turn in another nice reset, gets the soft touch, and Schwartz just left in a spot that no one wants to be in.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, SEMO's defense 1-1 now. If they can hold off maybe Florida to 3 goals, there might be a chance here to seal game 2, but their offense has to come alive, knowing that Hammy and Larry are going to come full force at their net on offense.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be a full effort. Obviously, you know, you can have your defense work well, you can have your offense work well, but you know, if one works without the other, it's just going to be that split, and you're not going to be able to bring yourself to a victory. So, I mean, we've seen their defense looking better here through the first half of this game, obviously limiting Florida to 1, but their offense has been limited as well. Maybe a look here for Burns. Are going to be blocked by Larry. 50 going straight up above the crossbar. Will be evened out here. Florida continuing to hold the other way, now looking for a counter.
Halftime in game 2, still 1-1. Hammy fires, no good. Bernsey off the save for the Red Hawks, and good stand there defensively for SEMO, but again, your offense has to give you enough production to, you know, continue to fight with number 2 Florida.
Yeah, and we're still seeing Florida looking very much in control. They still seem to be leading the pace here in this one. I mean, obviously it's 1-1, 2 minutes left, and SEMO have done a great job staying in it, but Florida seem to have that majority of the control. You can see Hammy, so much time and space to work with, off the ceiling, blocked well by Burnsy. Ultimately, we've just seen the Redhawks really combating these attacks strongly from SEMO.
Yeah, SEMO's giving Florida a lot of space down low in the paint and even outside of midfield there. And I think on their defensive possessions, you got to be physical and be in the face of Florida if you're going to hold them off offensively. So if they can kind of find a way to...
I mean... Oh.
Am I cutting out?
Yep, a little bit. Not on broadcast, I don't believe. But it seems like in the call just a little bit.
Interesting. A minute 15 to go, and hopefully we're good the rest of the way. Jordan, waiting on you to come back in, making sure I can hear you.
Yeah, I know. When you rejoin, I did not hear you one bit.
I wasn't talking.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out. But
I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, I mean, huh?
I wasn't even saying anything. I was waiting on you to talk.
Oh, I see. Well, okay. This one coming closer and closer to the end of game number 2 in Florida, starting to bear down. Raid has a look. Ventum, that's a huge 50 hammy. Will sky it up above the Redhawks net. Larry, one touch on the sidewall, looking middle. Raid is there. Schwerz, one touch. Hammy follow-up is on target. Schwerz recovers well and makes another save.
37 seconds to go, and it feels like now 2 goals might be enough to get the job done. Jonas, SEMO's offense has been a little bit stagnant in game 2, but again, their Florida's defense has finally locked things in here, not allowing 5 goals again, which is kind of insane to think about because Missouri couldn't even score 5 against Florida.
Yeah, that really is nuts. I mean, we are going from a 12 total goal game, and now there's only been 2 goals here in game number 2, so both these teams seem to have figured out each other as now Hammy gives a gift, but the shot is off. Larry was able to save it. Might have been on, but it was towards that far corner where Larry could get back. That's a huge missed opportunity.
Larry double couldn't turn that one home, and SEMO has to take control of opportunities given to them by Florida's mistakes, and it could have very well been 1-1, but Short trying to finish, couldn't do it.
Yeah, Hammy, good stop on the kickoff fall from Burnsy. Will be carried across by Hammy. Slices past another. Burnsy and Schwartz both have low boost. They're in trouble. Musty coming. Blocked early by Burnsy. Will be pinched back into the SEMO corner. The Redhawks have proved themselves a threat, and you can tell Florida being a little bit more aware of that here in this second game, but SEMO still right in line with the Gators. We'll see if they can find that 1 goal it takes to secure them a game.
Yeah, it's really real. Feels like now SEMO should be 1-1 in this series. Again, a mistake could come back to bite them later on, Jonas.
Yeah, it very well could. I mean, you know, dropping 2 games in a row is never easy to come back from. Is, you know, just that little bit of momentum going for the other side can really turn things around. And Burnsy, no touch here. Hammy looking to escape, double blocked by Schwerz. Raid is on it. Looking to reclaim possession. It'll fall back to Ventum. Skies it over 1. Larry on it. Controlled touch. Trying to get over Burnsy. Does. Schwerz has low boost. Still makes a save. Hammy comes crashing in. And Florida are up 2-0 in the series.
Well, minute 8 gone in overtime. The Gators extend the series to 2. It's a 2-zip lead over SEMO. And man, game 2, SEMO let it slip.
Yeah, they got an absolute gift of a touch from Hammy Crackers off his own corner, and the Redhawks just were not able to put that one shot away. You can see the defense looked great this game. Shores having 5 saves, 8 total for the Redhawks. They were a little bit outpaced on the offensive side. A lot of that did come during overtime, but ultimately this game should have been theirs.
Should be 1-1 right now going into game 3. Should already be a minute and a half into game 3, Jonas, and that SEMO touch, I mean, if they can get 2 games off of Florida, they're going to just think in their nightmares about what happened in game 2.
Yeah, very, very much so. But going into game 3, they've shown that they can win, Nation. They've
Absolutely.
shown it right there. They had the opportunity.
SEMO can very well pull games off of Florida. Another mistake for Raid. Benton capitalizes that time.
We're just seeing a lot of defensive mistouches out of Florida as Raid just didn't really flip at it. He just kind of knocked it right back into Ventum, and he's going to be more than happy for that gift 11 seconds in.
Yep, I mean, they capitalized that time. They're not going to let two mistakes go by the wayside, Jonas. And now their offense back on top again. We'll see how long for it to take to equalize. The pre-jump from Larry is just going to go right through.
Yeah, I mean, just a good passing play here from Florida. Right to Hammy. Larry, soft pre-jump up, put it on target. You can see Burnsy, that little bit of hesitation bit him, and then it's all tied up 1-1.
Yeah, Larry was off the ground before Hammy even touched the ball.
Yeah, he was ready for it.
Well, that lead did not last very long, and Florida, their defense is going to be difficult to get by. So when you get freebies, you have to take advantage of those opportunities if you're SEMO.
Yeah, you really do. And I mean, it's obviously easier said than done, especially against a team like Florida where you're maybe not expecting as many of those kinds of mistakes. I know we in the booth sure haven't been expecting these kinds of defensive mistakes, but on the field, you got to be aware, you got to be ready to adapt and take advantage when they present themselves.
Where's 1-on-2 here? We sent away back to the corner. Venom looking for help in the near zone, has no one there with them. Larry now in transition has a redirect help from Hammy Crackers. And Florida, in about 11 minutes in, Jonas, thoughts on what we've seen so far?
I mean, ultimately, I feel like they're still playing a little unrefined compared to what we've seen in the past. And, I think they're still making, obviously, those defensive mistakes that we've seen. I still think their offense is a little bit less efficient than we've seen in prior matches, like against Mizzou a couple times. But the other big thing is SEMO are playing great right now. Again, they are going toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the nation. They're keeping it close, but they will fall behind as Hammy Crackers will put another one away.
3:25 to go, and Raid hits his way through Schwartz, and Hammy Crackers buries the open target. 2-1, the Gators back in front.
You just feel that the Red Hawks, if they're able to tighten up that defense just that little bit more, that they can really take it to Florida in this one. As again, everyone expected this to, I feel like, be a pretty dominant sweep was in the predictions, and I don't think a lot of people predicted SEMO to, be keeping it this close, considering that they were a bid stealer out of the Ohio Valley, as Southern Indiana were undefeated throughout the whole season. Then when it came to that tournament grand finals, it was SEMO who stepped up, and I don't think a lot of people expected this kind of consistency and this kind of threatening look out of the Red Hawks, but here they are.
Yeah, Winthrop should be very upset. SEMO stole their bid in the tournament. They were the first team out of the field.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, there was only I'm gonna say it in quotes, only supposed to be quote unquote one team supposedly, but that we expected that to just be the AQ, and it looked to be Southern Indiana. But then once SEMO got it, the committee decided Southern Indiana, they did enough. I mean, at the end of the day, they were undefeated throughout the whole season and then dropped one game, and that's what ruined their AQ, and the committee felt that they did enough to make it through regardless. So yeah, SEMO did end up taking that bit away from Winthrop, a team that a lot of people felt deserved a spot, but I'm hoping to see Winthrop, next season and see what they're able to do, because they are an interesting team to take a look at.
Absolutely agreed. 2-minute warning here, though. In game 3, SEMO get up in front. No one there to put it on through, as the Redhawks, their season can lie in jeopardy with the next minute 50 if they can't score.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen them keeping it close, but still have been trailing. And then if they go down 0-3 in this series, I don't know if they're going to be able to bring it back. That would need to be one of the biggest reverse sweeps we've ever seen, Nation.
Yeah, and Larry, another day at the office, 3-1, a minute 36 to go. He'll put that one away any day of the week.
And this is just low boost all around on the side of SEMO. Burns, he couldn't reach the first one because he didn't have enough boost. And then we saw the follow-up on the other side. Ventum couldn't reach it because he didn't have boost, and Schwartz was just in an awkward spot on the goal line. 3-1 up. Go Florida, and they are looking much more comfortable here in SEMO. It seems like that threatening offense that we saw in game 1 has kind of come to a halt.
Yeah, but last game was low scoring too. We just saw 3 goals last game, so it's not really any different here, but a couple more outside of that for SEMO. They got 1-4 total right now, but again, you got to give credit to SEMO. They have played a heck of a series regardless of this series score. They have kept one of the best teams in the country really, really close.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this is one of those series where, you look at some series scores and it's never going to tell the full story. This is one of them. I mean, if this does end in a sweep, you know, people will look at that on sheet and they'll be like, okay, it was a sweep expected. But then you actually go back and watch this series and you realize that SEMO were fighting tooth and nail every step of the way, and they had Florida caught out quite a few times in this one.
They had them in overtime too, and they had a beautiful look to win and couldn't put it away. It really could be 1-1 right now. It really feels like it really should be 1-1, but Florida's able to keep this series unscathed for the Gators. SEMO, they're looking front for Venom, is way wide there. 25 to play. The Redhawks still need 2.
Yeah, and they're running out of time to do it with less than 20 seconds now. Burnsy up high off the ceiling. Schwartz and Ventum both waiting. Schwartz looking to get it to Ventum, but it's stolen away by Larry. Big clear comes through. Almost an own goal here. Ray looking to put it away. Will miss wide. Larry off the post. Can't sneak it through, but regardless, that'll be enough. Here in game number 3, Florida are up 3-0. Southeast Missouri State Nation need a reverse sweep to keep their season alive.
That they do. They're just going to take 4 games in a row, Jonas. We'll see how long, and they can keep this series going.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredibly tough to do. It really will be. I mean, we saw Florida's defense really step up. They had 8 saves, saved all 8 shots. Well, they had 8 shots, but SEMO still snuck 1 through, even with 8 saves. And I mean, regardless, we've seen this SEMO offense. We saw the great looks. We obviously saw them put up 5, but Florida's defense has really stepped up since then. They're not allowing much of anything.
Not at all. And I think, for SEMO, it starts with 1 game. That's simply put, that's the baseline of this series, is winning 1 game. And if they can do that, then anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, getting that little bit of momentum, at least to spark some kind of comeback, is always huge. And, at this point, you need one. It's all you got left.
One final fighting chance for the Redhawks, and a double from Raid. No good. A finish from Larry, unable to go through. Hammy Crackers is rolling, but he finds the first. He almost let that one slip.
I was taking a sip of water. I couldn't even react to Larry just whipping the open net, and Hammy tried to slow play it, and I guess it works.
And it does. 10 seconds into game 4, and the Gators on top early. SEMO cannot let this game get out of hand really, really quickly.
Yeah, no, they cannot let a big lead develop here. They need to answer back right now. Here's a good look. Hammy will pop it away. Larry sidewall. Looking for the double, gets it around 1. Hammy already waiting towards the corner, pops it up. Schwartz is there. Hammy just staying on it off the ceiling. Will find the back pass. Schwartz snapshot. Larry caught off in the corner. It's 1-1.
Here's the start SEMO need. 4:28 to go, and the Redhawks, from what feels like their best player in the field tonight, has delivered a heck of a performance.
Yeah, I mean, he really has. Schwartz offensively has been a menace, and has been a lot of fun to watch for Southeast Missouri State. And we'll see if he can keep up that pressure now in game 4, where SEMO will have to leave it all out on the field. Larry back downfield, reset himself, trying to take it home, but Schwartz helps out Burnsy and picks up the save.
4:12 to go as Florida back to equilibrium with SEMO. Those 15 out of the Ohio Valley, trying to get the OVC's first tournament win, as Larry couldn't put that one away. SEMO, hold on.
Yeah, and this just trying to keep up the pressure now, but I mean, you can see Florida are all over. And one of the big things that we've seen, the difference between both these two teams, is Southeast Missouri State have been really struggling to get boosts consistently, and when they do, they are a much more threatening looking team, but it's just because of that pace of play that Florida is able to really control things, keep that boost count in tow, and then keep more and more pressure going forward. As a little bit of a double commit there might be punished. Raid off the crossbar. Hammy will send it over to Larry up off the corner. Raid still lurking there, will find the pass, but Ventum reads it and makes the save.
3:17 go here in game 4. Hammy Crackers, plenty of boost to use here. We'll go high off the ceiling as a reset, double reset. Couldn't get it past the first defender. First 2 minutes off the clock are gone, and SEMO still fighting tooth and nail here in game 4.
And they really are. I mean, less than 3 minutes to go. There's still definitely a very solid chance for the Redhawks to keep themselves alive, but they need to minimize these couple of mistakes. That's a huge overextension downfield. Hammy will take it a little bit slower off the sidewall. Reset, scoops it over. Schwartz. Ventum will make the stop. Raid respecting the clear. They're now getting chased down. Will find a soft touch. Burnsy can't power his way through. Larry gets up, sneaks past Schwerz on the sidewall. Less than half this game to go now. Larry is trying to force his way through again. SEMO staying in it, staying right in the face of Florida. They don't want to go anywhere.
2:22 to go, and at some point in this game, Jordan, SEMO feels like this is their chance to score. Do you full send?
I mean, I think you got to give it a chance at some point, as maybe now. No, this one missing high from Larry. Ray trying to sneak his way through. I think at this point you still just kind of wait for Florida to maybe make one of those defensive mistakes that you've seen a couple times, but I think more of an aggressive rotation would be huge at this point, worrying less about overextending and just kind of trying to stay more present on the offensive end.
I absolutely agree, but I think, again, with this much time on the clock, when goals are coming at premiums in this series, if you get even a decent look where your offense is like, maybe we can get something here, maybe you send all three and hope you get a chance.
Yeah, you might have to do it now, as Larry will sneak a flick through. Ultimately, Hammy just faked it out, left it for him, and Burnsy turned inside, and Ventum, of course, not able to reach it. 1:32 on the clock. SEMO really got to push it forward now.
Minute 32 to go. The Redhawks now going to need one in the next 90 seconds to keep their season alive. Hammy Bargain missed a chance there. Of course, Schwerz couldn't put that one away. Maybe one more opportunity here in front of the boxes. Larry's in trouble with no boost, but the defense will hold the line.
Yeah, another big clear out. Ventum trying to escape. Larry, big shot right side, and no boost out in front. This might be the end.
That it might have. 1:11 to go on the clock in game number 4. Florida building a 2-goal margin with 71 seconds to play.
I mean, there's still going to be a couple chances for SEMO to get back into it, but Florida, you just feel like they're not going to let their foot off the gas in this one. As Raid looking to go downfield, Schwerz trying to keep it out. He will double it into the corner. Larry, another big 50. Hammy just looking to play a little bit of keep away. Will just play this one towards his own net. Flip reset. Musty top left, no good.
Almost been on goal. Larry gonna let that one trickle in. There's goal for 44 seconds. I think that's a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think it very much is, as well as the turtle shot from Larry to get himself a hat trick here in game 4. And yeah, that does look like it might just be it in this one. I mean, SEMO, we've seen them give it a good run. We saw them keep it close, but this one has gotten just a little bit too much out of hand. Florida, their defense has continued to be lights out, and ultimately, they've just been controlling the pace like no other here in game number 4. SEMO got 4 shots, and meanwhile, Florida have 13.
Yeah, 13-4 shot differential is not what you need to have if you're trying to pull off an upset team. You're just trying to come back and win. Well, there's 20 seconds left. Schwerz trying to throw some late life into SEMO's season.
Yeah, I mean, Schwerz, again, has continued to be that main offensive presence for the Redhawks. 2 for 3 here in this game. Again, has just been that nice spark for the Southeast Missouri State, trying to keep things going. Now we're going to see no one go on the kickoff for Florida, and the immediate shot is put off target. Maybe another late chance. Will Hammy take it away? Yes, he will.
Schwerz back at front. Raid will run that clock all the way down to 000. That'll do it. Florida gonna move on to play number 10 Houston in the round of 32.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough matchup for Houston. Again, SEMO gave Florida a couple scares in a couple of these games, but ultimately the Gators stayed out front well in a big 4-0 sweep to advance.
4-0 sweep to move on to next Friday's round of 32. The Gators will take on the Cougars of Houston.
And that should be a pretty good matchup. I would expect it. So I'm thinking Florida obviously still the heavy favorites in that one, but it'll be fun to see Houston compete, especially after how good they look versus UTA.
We'll have to wait and see what the Cougars can do, but we're going to go to break. When we come back, number 5, San Diego State take on number 12, California. Last season Cinderella. We'll see you guys after the break.